as we go into this week, let's break down the week from the outlook going into the Monday here. We're currently in the morning still. We saw the weekly close on EU with the monthly close as well. We saw a bullish monthly close and we did hold above these areas and the highs here. You could look at this bearish weekly candle as a doji. It has a big wick down. This wick could get filled, but I am expecting price to run to the high. We've got a position here from the 20th of May or 19th, 20th of May that we're still looking to see that upside from. Then the question is, and obviously we've seen that already today, if we go to what happened this morning so far, we've taken out previous weekly high without making a bottom wick. This is going to need to keep going. I don't want to see the weekly flip ideally because we're meant to see price hold above these areas to continue up. If we don't, then we could see this being a quick liquidity grab to then push down and fill this area here. Ultimately though, the structure on the weekly is still bullish, the daily is still bullish. You can see from where it changed here, we did have some downside and then we broke back to the upside. Where I looked for my buy, we've seen a higher high and a higher low. And if we continue to see higher highs, then the upside does look quite good. And really, it's not about getting in moves this week. It's about keeping the moves in that I've already got to see if they can play out or not. As for GU, it didn't look as clean. This is the daily time frame on Friday. We were expecting to see upside on Friday after we closed bullish and we took out price come into this order block area. I was looking for, after that fill on the daily, to see that further upside push. Now, we're in a good position right now. We had a bearish weekly close. Therefore, we could fail into this wick. I'm aware of that. That's an option. And I think that this area could be a good target for sales if you're looking for that. I'm still bullish to the high. Hopefully we can take out previous weekly high. And you can see the positions that we got there from Thursday and Friday are running in quite good profit at the minute. Doesn't look to be bearish. I think the 4 hour especially, when you look on it, it's still in this leg. So it's still within this area. And at the minute, until we get a massive rejection here and we start clearing maybe this low here that we formed, we're just going to see that continued upside and we may come into this liquidity at like 1.36400. But it's a weird price action to start the week because I would say that if we were going to go down, I would be expecting this to be respected and us actually see price move into there to go higher. So it's a weird situation. Obviously, we had some dollar stuff over the weekend with steel and aluminium tariffs being doubled. That may come in, but I don't really know where Trump stands with that. I think there's so much uncertainty. We do have ISM manufacturing and Fed speech later. I think this is the big one. We could see a big move tonight off that. So it's whether the volume's been dried up for the day now or we are going to see downside later. But at the minute, looking at price action, I just don't see how we're going to shoot all the way down at the minute. It is looking very bullish. And if we get these trades come in, we're in a good position though. If we look at the FTMO right now, we're only down 1.5% now on the funded, and we are up like over 7% on the challenge. We will win phase 1 if we do pass and these trades come in. We will pass phase 1. So these two are running, obviously. We're trying to see that pass. As for the other accounts, I think the fibers were in quite a good position as well. The equity, if it's not updated, I am up over 1%. So a payout could be coming in. FundedNext, we have, let's refresh this, see where we're at. We're up about 2% on, I'm only on one trade here, we're up about 2% here on the 250Ks. And this last 100K, we're only down 7% now. We were literally about to blow that. So it's looking better. We do have this as well. Think Capital is clawing back from 7% down. Now it's only 1.5% down. If these trades win, we'll be in profit. So it's more about holding off. We do only have about 40 pips. That's the annoying thing, is I want to see this push as soon as possible, ideally, because I know the position that we could be in if we do deem us to be bearish. So it's all about just waiting for these to play out. I'll update you guys throughout the week how it's going and really just waiting now to see. And that's the thing with the way I trade, it's more swing. So I'm still sitting in positions from 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, now trying to let these play out. And it's nice for me to be able to sit here and just analyze and sit back because I don't want to micromanage on the lower time frames. I've never been that kind of trader where I want to be closing out positions. But we're looking to see some sort of continuation. We've broken this on GU. We're looking for some kind of pullback and continuation there. And that will give us a nice play to these equal highs on the daily. And that will be really the move there. And then we can sit out and wait for further confirmations, either for the buys or if we do get strong rejections for the sells. But for me at the minute, especially on EU, I'm not looking at any sells yet because it is just still proving that upside structure is holding. So let's see what we're looking at maybe Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm guessing tomorrow will be a big day after we get that Fed's Powell speech later on. But let's see where we're at. That's coming in today. We're on Tuesday, 4 p.m. around London close. Let's see how we're looking for the day and how yesterday closed actually going into this morning. So we did see this bearish leg on EU get broken. So the bulls are in control, it seems like. Obviously, this wick thing is going to get to be seen if we do push up or we do come and take out the current weekly low. What I was looking for then, really, that's a confirmation for me to come up to the high. So not only have I got this position, I've now got another one looking to be set for the morning, which was... So we had the 1 hour leg. So I normally look at the 1 hour leg, which was this to this. Now, obviously, I'm not expecting from Asian session pulling back for this low to be respected. So instead, I've used this leg, which I would like on the 30-minute, my stops to be respected at least around 1.13370. So I've set a position with the stop losses there. Let's go to how that looked. I actually set a position on the daily imbalance fill. So expecting an entry around here. This was the play of the stops here and obviously targets back where the other trade is also at. So it's around a 3R. Yesterday on GU was very similar. We broke the lower high. We created an imbalance fill, potential order block here. Now the question is, are we going to go and see that upside or are we going to pull back and also take out the current weekly low? I'm looking for buyers again. Got an engulfing bullish candle with a high to test. And I was looking for something similar as we were to EU, which was a little bit lower entry than the imbalance fill. I think I got in around the fair value gap fill here with a stop loss at the 1 hour fair value gap low there and targeting previous weekly high. It's about 2.5R, I think that trade was, so slightly lower than the EU trade. What we saw was Jolts jobs coming positive actually earlier, so look at that. Quite a bit higher than actually expected and above previous as well, which we did see a nice little spike down there on EU and GU, which would have then put me into some drawdown, but we are really looking for the upside to start gaining some strength. If we look at the overall positions that I'm in, I've had to really rethink, what am I taking these trades on? Because balancing a lot of funded accounts and challenges and a live account, I need to look at everything as a whole and go, okay, what is the best option here? So really I was looking at, on GU, I decided that, what am I doing on FTMO on the funded? Well, I'm completely looking to get out of drawdown. That involves taking the 2 trades I'm already in. If I triple down on the risk and I lose all 3, then I'm down a lot on the funded. And that's not the goal at the minute, to get a payout and get profit. As much as I'd like to, I think to an extent it's over leveraging and I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. And as for the challenge, we're already in 4% of positions, so I can't actually exceed a 5% maximum daily loss. Therefore, not touching on FTMO, we're going to leave that. I think that's a wise decision to make. Now, as for the fivers, I obviously have, profit on the equity close there, nearly 2k profit. So I can't go below 96.6. Bearing in mind, if we actually look at my midnight balance, 97.7. So in theory, I can only lose one of these trades. I've got 0.75 risk on 1 trade on EU and 2 trades on GU. I cannot risk losing more than 1%. Overall 1% or one challenge. Losing 1% or losing 1 trade is going to be the maximum. So I've had to then take EU and I've gone break even on EU and I've gone break even on the first GU trade down here, which the other one that we took on Friday is not even in here right now. So yeah, we are technically in like 3 positions. So obviously, with that being said, I have not took anything today on the fivers. I'm really at the maximum amount of leverage because of the limits they've got. I've managed to take trades on the 250Ks. We actually are running up about 3% overall, so we're already nearly halfway to being passed on them. If these trades all win that I've got in, then I'm definitely going to be passing. It's about 2% now after us pulling back over the day. As we go on to Think Capital, again, we're still in the same positions as before. We're 3% down, 2.5% down. So yeah, I've only took these trades on FundedNext, the 250Ks, the ones from today, and my live account. And therefore, I'm not going to put any more risk on the line on these buy positions. And I won't take any more trades that involve any more buys from this point because there is no point. And I don't want to be over leveraging in any area. So important things to be done. I've got to obviously take things as they come. But yeah, for now, it's to sit out, wait for the trades to play out, and then see where we are at the end of the week. Today's been a crazy day. We saw 2 negative prints on the dollar news. We're going to go through that and all the market movement from today and how we're doing in the trades. Yeah, we're looking at ADP here coming in at 37k, way below previous and forecasted, which labour market was showing signs of strength yesterday with job jolts, and now this has come out. Is this signs for NFP maybe not being good? In addition, we did see ISM Services PMI drop below 50 for the first time since July 24. Again, saw some very strong prints here, and now we're dropping below, suggesting industry contraction for the first time in a long time. How did that affect price? Because yesterday we saw, if we quickly go to EU, we saw a strong bearish candle. So that potentially looked like a topic of the week. After taking previous daily high, I'd be sitting there going, yeah, probably getting stopped out. But yeah, again, we're still holding structure. Want to see really multiple bullish candles print without pulling back, because you can see there that after we broke the lower high here, mostly, just seeing one candle and we're going up, down, up, down. Is there going to be a point where we reverse that and we end up seeing down, 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 down? I would like to come up to the highs. We still have 1.15 to break, and there still needs to be more dollar weakness really coming in for the rest of the week if we're going to see that. As we go down to the 1 hour, we aren't really in much profit though. We have seen price move up. As I said, I'd like to see yesterday's high break, continuation of this not being a failure, and seeing that continued push to the upside there. As for GU, the close wasn't as bad. Reason being is because this imbalance fill we have marked out, we go to this imbalance fill here was not broken. We didn't see as strong of a bearish candle. It was only about 30 pips, and we never broke previous daily high. Today has actually pushed up really nicely, and now it looks very, very bullish again. We go to the 1 hour. Yesterday's trade really hasn't had drawdown. And because we're in 3 positions, I just want to re-emphasize what happened today and what my emotions were. How can I help you guys when you're in challenges and stuff? From raw experience of being in the markets for now a year, trading prop firms and dealing with this over and over again, is this was the price level on my red line that I'd passed my 200k FTMO phase 1. I was around $130 off passing at this point. Price had to move 1 pip, or not even a pip. Obviously now I'm still waiting. This is a pullback. Are we going to see continuation? I do believe that, yet I don't know. Therefore, obviously now we're not running up as much. I'm still up 9%. I'm still up 9%. That's the truth here. If I lose these 2 trades, I'll be down 4%. That's the difference. How can you deal with that? Well, trust in that overall, you have an edge. Been in this challenge since January. Would I lie to you and say that I haven't felt emotions? Only a psychopath wouldn't, right? What this is important to really trust in is I didn't go and close out at 9.9%. I didn't close out because I was so close. I didn't bag the profit. Why though? Because I don't want to be changing up what I'm doing when I know that if I hold this could hit TP, and I want that to be the case. I don't want to be closing out of positions. So yeah, it was emotional today because I was very, very, very close. If we look at where we're at with the FundedNext accounts on the 50k as well, these are both new phase 1s that I only just started last week. We're up, what are we up now? Like nearly 7%, 6.6% we're up on these. 8% profit target, still got 2 trading days left, which I can just take over the rest of this week, Thursday and Friday. But this account, been trading this challenge down here, haven't blew an FTMO this year at all since January when I purchased this over Christmas. This account got last week, but I might pass phase 1 at the same time, and that goes to show the times that you're in drawdown. You see the way price, I was in drawdown, I was up, I was down, I was up. This sometimes is what is the case when you take multiple challenges. Also, I am up over 2k on the funded account. Again, I could close out and get a payout. Oh, I've had a really bad drawdown period, let me close out. But to me, that's not important. What's important is I follow my plan. And if I follow my plan and I don't get a payout and this goes into 3% drawdown, in my head, I'm more satisfied than getting a payout, because money for me is not the goal. I do want to become the best trader. That's the difference between me 3 years ago and me today. Me 3 years ago couldn't handle losing a trade, losing 2 trades in a day. Now, I relish opportunity to make the most out of my trading plan. And I've put in so much work over this year, recently especially, this month gone, in May, I would be selling this again. And it goes to show that if this plays out, That's where I've improved my edge. That's where I've adapted to the live market conditions. That's what makes me profitable. And being able to sit there, feel emotions, not act on it, I'm good at that now. That's a skill. And once you get the skill, no one can take that away from you. It doesn't matter if you have a losing streak. It doesn't matter if you have a drawdown streak. It does not matter. What matters is you are doing the best thing that you can do by sticking in the market, trusting what you have. And when you trust it and you have confidence in drawdown, you have confidence in profit, you're unbeatable. You are never going to be swayed by the market. You are keeping that 0.01% edge over the market. That's what makes a living. That's what makes you a good trader. That's what makes you a full-time trader. So these are all the things that I'm trying to re-emphasize when I'm coming on and I'm telling you, look, I'm feeling emotions. I'm in 3 positions on G. I'm in 2 positions on EU. I'm showing you guys managing risk, taking certain trades on some accounts, taking all the trades on my live account because I can take that. I've got loads of leverage, but some of them I don't have leverage on. Sitting here for multiple days, not allowing small things to get me, and really overall just allowing price to play out. And that is the goal of my channel. I really want to just re-emphasize there is times where things go right, there are times where things go wrong, but make sure you stick around for all of it and you'll reap the rewards. So we'll go into the rest of the week and see how we end up playing out. And yeah, let's see what happens.
Friday morning, let's go through the week. We're going to finish it off here, even though we still have NFP to go. That'll be in the next video. Let's talk through what happened yesterday. Some crazy news. We had a cut by 0.25, which was priced in on the euro rate. We were expecting that, and then we saw unemployment claims come out bad. We've seen quite a lot of negative prints here recently, creeping back up to nearly 250k. It's not looking great. We did have Trump and the China guy have a talk as well. That was said to have gone well, but we just saw the dollar tank as well. We just saw it absolutely decimate. So that talk between Trump and Xi, that just didn't help the market out at all for the dollar, did it? We'll have a look at the dollars to start with where we're at with that. I want to go through a lot today, and we've got a lot to finish off the week with. I don't want to drag this out for too much longer because it would already be quite a long video. Yeah, well, we saw a weak bearish candle in DXY after coming down and taking out current weekly low. We still haven't taken out these lows from April, so are we now going to see NFP bounce from here, or are we going to go and clean these lows out? I think it will depend on that rate, to be honest, unemployment and seeing the NFP come in. But really for that, we still see the weekly bearish at the minute. Still not quite below that previous weekly low, but we haven't come up at all, made a wick yet. So are we going to see a crazy movement today? We could do. It's definitely not out of the question. As for the euro, we're coming in yesterday and we'll see what we did price action wise. We did push up and take out current weekly high. We're still in these trades. We tapped back into this weekly liquidity. So I'm eyeing this up now and I'm saying, right, if this pullback wasn't enough, then we're coming for this. And if we close bearish this week, there could be options for sales back to this area. Expecting that if we're having double taps and failures to break this, to potentially try and move this out of the way, we are seeing double taps, we can head back into this area. So that's what I'm eyeing up. But we are running good profit. See, go through the accounts in a minute. As for GU though, we smashed TP on all 3 positions. Like, a lot was going on yesterday and I was still working and it was crazy trying to account for all the challenges and stuff. But that is the true test, and this is what I said to myself yesterday. This is a pivotal point in your trading career because you've done all the work last month, going into this month. You worked on why you were going wrong and you've done the changes. You made it and you tripled down on your risk and you still won. If that doesn't show me what trader I've become in the last 6 months, I don't know what will. Especially after all the adversity I've gone through and I've shared everything. And this is the thing about putting yourself on the line. I'm always open to constructive criticism. I'm always open to changing my ideas. And you have to have an open mind when you're coming into the markets, because if you don't adapt to the market conditions, you won't be a profitable trader. So we've smashed May out the park now. We'll look at the live trades in a minute, the live data. All 3 hit TP. We took out previous weekly high, and yeah, again, like I said, my analysis was we never saw anything suggesting downside yet. We're still holding above current yearly highs going into this week, and we just went straight up. Didn't need a wick. What we did do is we filled the imbalance and then we just went up. Filled the gap, for the start of the week, and we just left. So I'm not bothered about what GU does now. It's all about NFP today. But we are nearly back to break even. We're closed out on FTMO. Very, very happy with that. I was down 5.5%, and the trades that would have, these trades I had in GU, 2 of them, if I lost, I'd be down 7% on the funded account, 200k. I merged them 100k's together as well, and I was kind of doubting things at times. But it goes to show, never doubt. As for the challenge, we can go to the challenge here that we saw June passed. And let's go to the analysis. There's not too much to go through, but I want to talk through how I pass this, because I take a lot of 0.01s at times to keep the account going, so it doesn't really reflect the true state of the account. This is what's important though, is I started this in Jan 10th. As a trader, when you're going for these challenges and you're still at work and putting in £900 into a challenge, it means a lot to you. You can't be doing what these gurus and top traders that are in the space that are getting funded accounts and challenges do, where they're getting paid for a living to trade and they're just pumping money into accounts. I want to be a reflection of what the normal trader is like and take time. That took me nearly 5 months. You know, what did I think at any point? Was I rushing to pass it? No. And you can see here, look, I went into 5% drawdown, 10k drawdown. I was up then 6.5%. I went back into negative and I was down 2.5%. And then the 2 trades that I took, or the 3 trades, or I had a couple of trades here that put me up a little bit, back to break even. Then we just saw a huge rise there. And it goes to show that there is times in the market where the conditions are just perfect. That's where you double down, you triple down on your risk, because that is where the best moves are. You don't have to worry about trading all the time. And that's it really. We're going to go through too much here. Obviously, average around the same amount of longs and shorts. I probably should have been more long this year overall. And that goes to show why it took so long to pass. And if that doesn't show you anything, then I don't know what will. Made nearly 20% on longs and lost 10% on shorts. So that's a clear idea of where I was going wrong this year. It tells you right there. We can see here, obviously my Thursdays were really good. Tuesdays not so much. And really that's all. We did take the most trades on EU, but at a certain point I just decided to trade GU on this. And that's where the GU trades started to come in. DXY I was just tested out, taking small positions on. And that's a wrap there of the lot sizes as well. You can see that for the most part I'm trading between, really, I would say 5 and 10 lots. The odd time I have a bigger risk with a smaller stop loss, but you can see there, roughly around in that area. We have some smaller positions there below 5. And here we go, trade duration. Most of my trades here are taking more than 12 hours because I'm a swing trader. But very, very happy with that. I've obviously got my certificate through for phase 1 passing as well. And I was, obviously you can tell by Wednesday, I was quite emotional with everything going on. But at the end of the day, I said, look, if it hits TP, it hits TP, and it did. So there we go. 5th of June, pass phase 1, love it. Great to see. Don't know if we can click on that somehow. I don't worry about that right now. Right, as for fivers, we obviously hit 2 TPs on GU. We're actually up on this account, and with EU running, I'm up like $2,500–3,000. I will get a payout on this of at least around $1,000. So I've managed to claw this back from drawdown as well. I don't know how much drawdown I was in at one point, but ever since I've got this account, I've only gone into like 1.5% overall drawdown. We could see the drawdown that we were holding around here, and now we're all the way up here. Look, we've had some good profit overall on this account, around 5%. I'm halfway to really getting that 10% profit target. So we're very, very happy with that trade. This is still running. These are the 2 trades that have won. I did not take a further position on GU because I was already leveraged out. So I had to describe how I took that, why I had to take certain trades and to stop loss to break even, like the EU trade that I've got right now. And now I've already moved that to break even, I won't be moving that back because I've made the decision to move it, even though I could with the current daily loss that I've got. I ain't going to risk that. I'm going to keep that as it is. That's a FundedNext. And this is another thing I want to take through. Some challenges you're going to pass within a day. Some challenges you're going to pass within a week. If you get an amazing trade and it's a high R and you're risking more than 1%, you are going to pass trades. I had 3 positions on these FTMO, FundedNext phase 1s here in the 50Ks. Bearing in mind, I took 3 positions on this, got the accounts last week, already passed. FTMO took me 5 months. That sometimes just happens. It's the way it is. And you just got to be really appreciative of when you do pass them really quick. But you can't force them to be passed really quick. That's the difference. Had the 5 trading days this morning, so I've obviously got my phase 1 passing on both of them on the 6th of June, which is this morning. Took my last trading day. And that's it for FundedNext. We're obviously running on this trade still with EU. We're down so much, it's not really about that right now. Now my focus is to try and pass these and get this out of drawdown. As we go on to Think Capital, we're actually back at around break even on that. Was saying that I was so close to blowing this. Even if this trade doesn't come in on EU that I've got running from 2 weeks ago, I'll still only be 5% in drawdown, which still gives me ample trades to take and still not blow this account. So when I said about blowing 3 accounts last week, I'm definitely not going to be blowing 3 accounts. I've obviously passed 3 phase 1s, 300Ks worth of capital. And whilst the payout I'm getting from these positions aren't a lot, what I can vouch is I'm more excited and more looking forward to getting into phase 2s and passing them, because as much as it's about payouts, building up your allocation gives that comfortability of, I don't have to risk 1% on the funded accounts. I can risk 0.75, 0.5%, spread the risk across and trade the same trades on all of them, unless I decided on FTMO trading GU only, and that's the way I diversify my risk, and this works for me really well. As we go on to the overall monthly closures, we saw May be profitable after seeing a bit of a ropey one to start with. What I can say is if this trade comes in and it's a 4R, we're going to be looking at a 10R month, which is again how I did in February. After 2 losing months, to have a winning month again. I've done it so many times, like I don't have to say too much. Like, I'm not here to get overconfident or cocky. I'm here to prove that I do what I say I do. In all my videos, I show you everything. I don't see any trader on here really showing you everything. They might show you bits here and there of a trade that they took. I'm showing you all the accounts, all my live data, everything, my thought processes now as I go through the week. This is where you need to really hone in on what's he doing that I'm not. Because I'm not anything special. I'm just doing what I do. And I know the formula. I know the foolproof formula to get funded, to hold funded accounts, to pass challenges without blowing them. This is what you need to do. It's not hard. It's you have the edge and you trade it. Over a long period, you make money. We've got a win here to start off June as well. The EU position, if this trade plays out, we'll obviously be up like 5R. If we don't, we'll be up 1R. But I'm having a 5R month in May no matter what. I'm still holding that trade. Look, it's been a long time of a hold there. If we do get confirmations that we are coming down on EU, I'll close out the position. That's obviously allowed in my strategy. If I deem it will be bearish by the end of the week and we're coming for this low, I will close out, because I don't want to be holding positions when we have high time frames showing us that we're not going up anymore. But overall though, we could see the price takeout currently high, and we'll have a massive payout on the fivers, and everything's looking really good. And I just want to sit here and say, yeah, I've done it. You know, I put my balls in the line again. I showed you everything. You know, there's not too much I can really say now. So going into the rest of the month, I just want to keep with the flow. May and June are normally always good months in my data. So that's why I feel more confident in these periods, and it's just the way it is sometimes. The conditions in Q2 seem to be very, very good compared to other quarters, and that's just not from me trading EU and GU. Back when I traded GJ, I always found these periods to be better. So make the most of the market conditions. If we see the dollar continue to be weak, don't bet against it and just keep going. And that's all you can do on the higher time frames. And let's go into next week and smash it. See you guys later. Peace out. Take care.